Fastidious inspector approaches you in the galley. Captain, good day. I notice your ship's clock has stopped. Perhaps you'd permit me to repair it. She has a little case of tools and a hopeful expression. Prefer it to be right more than twice a day. A grateful flicker of a smile and sets to work. Back of it. Thank you, she says. A small, embarrassed silence. I like the idea of a small silence. It implies more than just length. I like that it leaves these little timestamps of events and discoveries on the ground. So if you cross over them later, you'll see a date and a little snippet of what happened. Uh-oh. The edge of the wilderness. Oh! Homestead. A solitary settler lives in this modest homestead. She's not much of a conversationalist, but the enticing smells that waft from her kitchen are convincing. Leave me alone. So I guess we're upside down, and the earth is above us because the gulfs of space are beneath us. I hope I manage to get to the place I'm going before I run out of food. Oops. Damn it! What are my story options? With the groan like a dying whale, your locomotive soul buckers. Die, the hull cracks. The sky pours in. The sky pours in. I love it. The cold takes you. I'd say rest in peace, but that probably does not happen this far above the God's land. Partial chart. Alright, who are we this time? I was a soldier last time. Who would the grandson of a soldier be? Start as a poet this time. A radical, outlawed school that delights in the freedoms found in the dark. Born in the Empress's court, patriotic, bombastic, occupied with the iconography of time. I like these guys. What's my name, Malia? Terrence. Elizabeth? Possibly? Alright, question. Okay, first question. Man, woman, or intermediate? Kind of feel like a lady. Let's go with Sarah's a little blah. Ooh, intermediate's good too. Then let's do Alex. And what I said, I was a scholar. So, professor? I feel like let's go with archivist. They're an outlawed school of thought, tends to not have established professors. I actually like that. That's, hair's a little too big though. I kinda want... That looks a little better. Actually, it seems alright. A little gaudy. Feel like an archivist that runs an exploratory ship probably wouldn't walk around in a shoulderless dress. Something a little more utilitarian. I like that. There's a lot of them. I'm sure there's an easier way to... Scuba in space. What do you think of this one? Kind of like this one, number 5. Pretty neutral. I like the hair. I love one of the hats is ooh, that I like. Although one of the hats is I love. Where is it? What? Ah, there it is. One of the hats is an octopus. Oh, I didn't want to change the hair. I like the hair. There we go. I actually liked the hat I had before. Kind of like one of those little Victorian side hats. What number was it? 7? There we go. I actually like that. It's a little ostentatious. You know what? No, maybe not. Where's the, I like this one, actually. Alright. Poetry was popular in London. Some poets sought fame, others art. Some simply enjoyed bohemian company. 3 preeminent artistic movements have come to prominence. Which work are yours associated with? Looking for money, I got a lot of heart, and a bottle of wine, and I'm ready to hit the skies. A fastidious inspector. Four are gathered at the table. The masked citizen, a libertine, polymath, and pioneer of the neo-nocturnal artistic school. The bedeviled didact, a scholar haunted by her own discoveries. The plucky baroness, explorer, Collector, Philatelist, and Spatchcocker Meg, who hunts monsters. Of course everything out here is jolly dangerous, says the Baroness. Few risk the skies, so news of distant ports is valuable. So same things before. I can talk to people at different ports and report back here. That's just kind of tutorial stuff. I do like how even the tutorials is couched in great conversations. Kind of want to buy... Ooh, prospects. Oh yeah, I can transport things and sell them at a profit. Magdalene's verdant seeds for Magdalenes that provide comfort and sympathy to the weary skyfarer. Its hosts will tell you any lie you need to hear. Some of those lies require flowers. The amenable host wants up to 3 sacks of verdant seeds and will pay 80 sovereigns for each. Sure, why not? Alright, so I need... Can I not even buy any here? Where do I go? Oops. Verdant seeds and bronze wood. Interesting. I have 175. Know how far away this I haven't completed this quest before, so I'm not sure exactly how far away the place I need to take this lady is. An inspector of London's horological office, responsible for the orderly regulation of time across the empire. Need to escort her to Port Prosper, a long ways to the west-northwest of New Winchester, which is where I am. And I have... Oh, I thought they said I had part of a map. Guess I was wrong. Is it in my inventory somewhere? Oh, one of my possessions is my soul. It's a flickering, fermented soul. It appears to be faintly bubbling in its bottle and has a disagreeably pungent odor. I wonder if I can sell it. So west, what did it say? Oh, there you go. West, northwest, so that's like mostly west. It's pungent and flickering. Must not be that stout. You leave me alone, you piece of crap. Okay, so... Oh! Oh, Jesus! Begin with pleasantries. A coggy conversation. Perhaps you could talk about the weather. I suppose it is rather gusty, she says. My work requires extensive travel. I've grown accustomed to the high wilderness's little tantrums, and your engine weathers them well. Some of the vessels I'd been on couldn't even keep the wind on the outside. What are the duties of an agent of the horological office? She sniffs. It is of fundamental importance that 10 o'clock on the 2nd of June in one corner of the Empire occurs at the same time as 10 o'clock on the 2nd of June in the opposite corner. How is an empire to function if it can't agree what day it is? Unfortunately, the process is complicated by the fact that time is a little less reliable than it was. The hours trade has seen to that. Ask about the hours trade. You've heard the Empress rewards her favorites with gifts of years to extend their lives, and that you can become rich mining for hours to satisfy mining? Oh my god, that's great. It's so good. Mining 4 hours to satisfy London's hunger for them. Oh, hours have more uses than that. We use them to increase the efficiency of work worlds, to speed journeys to distant regions, to resolve overcrowding in prisons. I wonder how they do that. It does make my life more difficult when time knots and stretches like wool on the loom. More difficult, but more vital. Her Majesty has seized a great trove of them when she assumed the throne of hours. And now even more have been found in reach. Miners dig them from the ground. She looks momentarily wistful. I hope someday to retire with a modest pension of years, to prosper for the better part of my retirement. The wide, wild frontier, a sunless domain, but impossibly verdant, lots of fungus, with gargantuan vines, cathedral-sized brownwoods, and livid fungal archipelagos. What happened to the Reach's sun? And London has a man-made sun. How did Her Majesty defeat the old one? We warred and won. It's not my area of expertise, I'm afraid. The suns made the law, they said. Now Her Majesty makes it. Alright. Looks like there was also a war against the independent settlers in London when London proper made its way up here. Speaking of a cup of tea. Would you say this is like west northwest? Because like this is north northwest and this is west northwest, right? A hush falls over your locomotive. One of your crew members removes her cap in remembrance of those who died in this span of the sky. I love that it leaves the little timestamps at the locations. It is interesting that the space is beneath us and the world is above us. Said it was pretty far to the west-northwest, so once I get a little closer, I'll start spending supplies to send out my bat. Oh, this is the same thing as before. Onwards. Once I get to about here, I'm gonna start sending the bat out. It was a major port, so I feel like if I'm in the rough area, I should run by pieces of it. Floating about, flotsam and jetsam, so to speak. An archipelago hanging inverted under the stars. what Chippy's got to say. You prod your bat until it grudgingly admits finding something of interest. Oh, that was behind us. I think that was just one of those rocks you can mine. Another scarred casualty of the interminable Winchester War. Ugh. Frame rate is not doing well. An old wreck and a broken heart. An old wreck, broken and bent. After much flattery, your bat admits to having possibly found something, perhaps. 40. Ugh. My hull's full. The wreck gleams with frost. Its windows are dark, its engine silent. Perhaps something of value lies within. The steel of its chassis is mangled, but the bridge appears to be largely intact behind its broken windows. Yellow Swaggins. Ooh. Your driver pulls your locomotive alongside the wreck, close enough for you to make the leap from one to the other. The floor of the bridge is carpeted with glass fragments. It shines like stars in your lamplight, and tinkles like bells when your boots crush it. A sky chest, nailed to the floor at the back of the bridge, yields to your efforts. A marked box. Fragile contents. Do not shake, upend, or discommode. After much careful maneuvering and cursing, the box is opened. A chorus of oohs and ahs run through your crew as the panes of starlight-stained glass emerge. You now have one pane of stained glass. Alright. Did I find something else? Ooh, maybe. Ooh. Not need to do that. Never tell if I'm gonna run into these or not. What the fuck? Ah, just another mining rock. This whole area. I'm just gonna like head near the rim and then kind of loop around. These things are wigging me out though. Homestead? Damn it. Can I not come in and say hello or what? Guess not. Mole's table. It's a big fucking rock. I need skill that I don't have. I'm just looking for this stupid port. Alright, Baticus, what you got? You prod your bat. Oh, that's pretty far. That's about as far northwest as you can go. Yeah, you kind of do. It's a little disconcerting. Although maybe they're just more like asteroids. We're in the stratosphere. If this isn't the port that I'm looking for, I have no idea. Huh. Oh, the Albion Transit Relay. Oh, that's how I get to this whole other area. I think that's where the Clockwork Sun is. But I don't actually care about that. I'm trying to find port something. Guess head south a little bit. A rumble of far-off refineries, distant searching lights rake the sky. Oh, that's a good sign. Maybe? Question mark? The Fulbright factory. Well, it's not the port I was looking for, but it's something. Oh, fuck. What? Can I not? I can never tell where I can actually park these things. Fuck. This looks more promising. Hey, I don't know if that what I'm supposed to be. Queen's Cross Station. Oh, Port Prosper. Okay, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be. We did it! Fuel and supplies in addition to a sum of money. Ensure you have 6 spaces in your hold. Not even close. What, I need to sell some shit? A bibliophile bargain, the latest literature from London. A consignment of recent publications have arrived. Ministry-approved literature. Get out of here. A barrel of unseasoned hours. Encased in beeswax and stamped with the ministry's mark. Its contents sigh like the tide. You don't say. So here's a question: do I fucking sell fuel and supplies? Well, I guess I do. Yeah, because they're gonna give me fuel and supplies as part of the reward for the quest. They're gonna be 6 of them, so I'm gonna sell these. Because they're going to get replaced, and I'm going to get money on top of it. Yeah, there we go. They need bronzewood and chorister nectar. The narrow streets of Port Prosper huddle in the shadow of a great crag. Bunting festoons the walkways. Banners display the stony features of her renewed majesty. I love the art they've done for this game. It's a lot more. I mean, it's very kind of mystical and evocative. Wealthy West Enders strut by. West Enders. Oh, I get it, because we're on a rock floating in the west. Kind of, ostensibly. Exchanging polite greetings and veiled gossip. Meanwhile, sooty East End workers file to the hour refining factories. Peeling posters promise fresh, wholesome lives in the reach to new arrivals. But many of the posters are years old. More newcomers arrive at Port Prosper than ever leave. Right Port Report. Very little happens on Port Prosper, but someone might take an interest. The factories continue to belch out smoke while over the bridge, I can't actually see this, hopeful crowds gather outside the Admiral Nelson. Lovers can be seen strolling arm in arm along the promenade, at a respectable distance from their chaperones. The scones at the Nelson were as good as ever, though the piquancy of the jam was less than might be desired. Attend a private meeting at the Windward Company? What? A message was waiting with the station master, its envelope as crisp as a new banknote. What do you think it sounds? What do you think? It sounds kind of suspicious. Do that, or I can attend a parade. How much money do I have? Actually say. First one sounds pretty spoopy, I agree. Let's go to a parade. The Feast of the Red Saint. Gaudy banners fly over the painted rooftops of Port Prosper. The smog of the East End is hidden away by giant posters displaying dragons in varying degrees of vivisection. Man, there's just nothing delightful up here, is there? The cramped streets are clogged with people. Wealthy West Enders promenade about the amusements, while impoverished East Enders, okay, we get it, work the stalls and huddle by chestnut fires for warmth. Fraternize with everyone. The Skyfarers are not limited by rigid social structures, though neither are they beloved for it. I'm tolerated by both of them. How much does this guy want? Oh, I didn't even need to pay anything? I just recruited him? The clay conductor. The clay men were originally fabricated and brought to life as essentially slave labor. The gaudy widow. Alright, sure. It's a good, honest theater. Retain your dignity. You might venture a comparison to Moliere. If you feel moved to comment at all. Let's enjoy myself. Tolerated by the EastEnders once again. A new clock tower. They plan to call it the Albert Clock, in memory of the departed Prince Consort. No, I've been there before. Taken to Lustrum. Alright, where the hell is Lustrum? Where did they ask to go? You are delivering a settler to Lustrum. If I know where the hell that garbage is. Alright. So I'm full up. Oh, 155. I guess she gave me like 100 money. Plus 50 debt when I first picked her up. Alright, let me see. Literally no idea where this stuff is, so we're just gonna go exploring. Don't mind me. You're not gonna shoot me, are you? They look like police. Leave me alone, please. Thank you. What are these little fucking things? Yeah, it was alright. Fucking popo everywhere. Don't be alone. Do not want like a fucking grub or something. The detritus of yet another skirmish in the Winchester War. Yikes. Aromatic casket. 2 supplies. Murgatroyd's fungal crackers, a rare treat in the skies. Newer skyfarers tend to disdain them as revolting and abominations unto the Lord. The taste has not improved with age, but the vintage provides a certain smug satisfaction. I gotta jettison something? Supplies, so that I can replace them. Well, not that, so I can replace them with supplies. Oh, I like that. It actually knocks the debris around a little bit. Oh, boy. The storm that speaks, there are voices on the wind, until a crack of thunder cows them. Oh boy. Don't mind us. Mr. Speaking Storm, sir. Cold and flinty part of the sky. Miners dug too deeply here. Your navigator slides up to you. Hey, you've been keeping up with them dailies, Captain. He unfurls a yellowy newspaper. Your passenger from Port Prosper has her face splashed across the front page. Beneath an impressive and improbable list of charges, the Ministry of Public Decency is offering a hefty reward. Criminal, eh? No need for rash action. Your passenger is a wanted fugitive. She does not know that you know. A quick change of course back to Port Prosper is entirely possible. Swift extradition for her, a well-deserved reward for you. Or you could continue on to her destination, who knows? Maybe she reformed. You may be sympathetic. If she's on the run, she may be willing to pay handsomely for her transportation. What do you think? This is just the lady I picked up at Port Prosper after dropping off the clock worker. I mean, even a government that's as utilitarian, that is as totalitarian and corrupt as this one almost certainly is, they still arrest people who are actually deserving of it sometimes. And how are we to know? What kind of person is Alex, do I wonder? I'll keep exploring for now. Mourn the dead. I do not like it here. Get me out. Snow. More cops. What the hell are they shooting at? Oh, right. Nailed it. You may find unusual cargo. How much damage have I taken? Not much. Faintly luminescent cage. Vision of the heavens. A silver idol rests in a cage. 4 wings extend from its hunched shoulders. Made from moonstone, your navigator says in a hushed voice, to amplify the light of the stars. Well, Popo means there's probably a port near. I think. Glory's Cross. There's so many goddamn pirates everywhere. Magdalene's is the closest thing many Skyfarers have to a home. It offers services to alleviate the strain of spending a life spent too close to the stars. 100 apiece? Cantankeries. It is possibly dying. Smoke hisses from its fractures in its shell. There is a disastrous smell. Songs are sung in the station tea rooms about the dying laments of the ageless cantankery. To hear it is apparently good luck. Your bat is pleased to announce that it has found absolutely nothing. I love it. Love what they did with the levels and the style of art and the light in this game. It's just gorgeous and evocative. You have learned from your experiences. I guess I leveled up then? We'll have to take a look at exactly what that means. Alright. Creative nostalgic crockery. Tacti's gratitude. Bloody stovepipes. Calls them because the big hats. I like it. Alright, I think I'm gonna stop streaming for now, go make some popcorn. We should play Stardew Valley a little later though.